Greetings, people of Earth. Welcome back. My name is Jax. And first of all, take in that gorgeous view. Isn't that stunning? Gosh, as you can tell, I am not in Canada right now. I'm in the south of France. But today we are talking about chapter 14 of the Dao De Ching, which is called the Essence of the Dao. And up until now, we've talked a lot about going with the flow, how to incorporate Taoism into your life, how to look at obstacles that you see in your life and all this stuff. But we really haven't gone into a more scientific version of what is the Tao. What is it? And we probably won't, but this is about the closest we come to really diving into the elements of Tao that make it unique, that make it special, and that make it really important to embrace in our lives. So I'm going to read the verse and then we're going to talk about it. So it's a medium-sized verse. The essence of the Tao. To look but not to see is called Yi. To listen but not to hear is called Shi. To strive for but not to attain is called Wei. These three things are beyond our comprehension. Together they form the Tao. It is neither bright above nor dark below. Endlessly linked, it cannot be defined as it returns to nothingness, the formless form. Shape without substance. It is called the abstract. From in front, you cannot see its beginning. From behind, you cannot see its end. Understand the ancient Tao to order the affairs of today. This is the essence of the Tao. So, quite a bit to unpack there. First of all, we're given three characteristics: Yi, Shi, and Wei. And basically they mean to look but not see, to listen but not hear, and to strive for but not attain. And this comes back to non-action, which is Wei or Wu Wei, and doing but not doing. These elements are all pretty encompassing of Tao. It's that sort of zone we talk about, being in the zone, seeing but not seeing. I know it's one of those like Eastern philosophical things, like to go forward, you must go back. To go left, you must go right. But again, we're talking about things in terms of cycles and in terms of everything being connected, and this endless cycle of no matter what you end up doing, like the Tao keeps moving, the universe keeps moving with the flow. And so these three concepts are really all just the same thing. It's this whole idea of non-action, of allowing the universe or the Tao to do what it's gonna do. There is no controlling it, there's no seeing it, it's just there, it just is. And again, a bit of a difficult concept, especially if you're from a Western perspective like me, where you sort of see this thing and that thing is what it is and it always has been what it is. That's not really what we do in Taoism. It's not really about that. These three things are beyond our comprehension. It's really hard to wrap your head around the idea of seeing but not seeing. And I think the best way that you can think of it is this idea of being in the zone, when maybe you go on a long journey in your car and you're driving and you sort of get into that zone. You're totally safe, but you end up at your destination and you're like, oh, I didn't even know, I can't believe that much time has passed. I'm just here. Like, you were in the zone, and the whole time you were present and you were there in the moment, but it just happens, right? Like, it just, whoa, oh my gosh, we're here. Oh my goodness. It's like when you fall asleep and you wake up and suddenly it's been 8 hours, but you don't think of it as 8 hours. It was just boom, now you're here. And that is really the essence of Wu Wei and presence, and having that mindful connection. I know you might not feel very mindful when you just let all that time pass you by, but in the moment, you're being present. Your brain is thinking of things, you're going through different motions. And like I said, while it might not feel like you're in the moment, it is actually the most in the moment form of being that you can be, is in that zone. So that's kind of, there we go. Apologies if the wind is catching up a bit, but I can't control that. So Maybe I'm not, sorry. Anyway, the formless form, shape without substance. It is called the abstract. And I think this is one of the problems that we face in society today is many of us are very materialistic in substance, and like we like our structure. We like being able to see this and it tells us that this is happening. But we have a group of people and a group of philosophers and a group of people who have this ideology where things are abstract. Things are relative to my position. The only reason that cloud looks like that cloud is because of your vantage point. If I go over there, that cloud is going to look totally different. And that whole idea of the abstract, again, formless, nameless, shapeless, eternal, it's really hard to put this into a category because that is exactly what it's against. That is exactly what it doesn't believe in, is having a specific substance for something. And I suppose you can think of it as, if you take any substantive thing, like an orange, as time passes, that orange changes. A rock changes over time. The chemical composition, the radioactivity level of it. And so you can think of everything is abstract. Everything is always in flux, always changing. We are always changing. They say every 7 or 12 years, all the cells in your body are completely replaced. And so you can think of it like that is, okay, yeah, I have a material body, but that body is constantly changing. It's constantly moving and it's constantly undergoing stresses, pressures, changes, maybe a bit of red wine. And so that's kind of the essence of Dao, is it's this formless thing that is constantly changing. It is always relative. It is abstract. So yeah, that's kind of how you can think of it, is actually nothing is structural. Nothing is super sound and stays eternal. The sun is constantly losing, it's something like hundreds of tons a second of mass while it's fusion exploding and nitrogen and oxygen are exploding in the sun. So the sun is constantly changing its fluctuation, its wavelengths, its radioactive spread, its neurons and protons. It doesn't have neurons, never, ignore me. You're asking a philosopher to describe science, and that's not going to end well. Okay, and then I'll finish this up, and then we will be on our merry way. So, from in front, you cannot see its beginning. From behind, you cannot see its end. So again, that's kind of like the universe. It is eternal, and you can't see like a curve. You can't see the edge of it. You can't see, like, we're completely around it. They often talk about trying to find the edge of the universe, and that doesn't exist. Again, I'm no physicist, but it is impossible to find the edge of something that is infinite, that goes on forever and that is ever expanding and ever contracting. And so just like that, you cannot see the beginning or the end of it. And then the final 2 lines, understand the ancient Dao to order the affairs of today. This is the essence of the Dao. And so basically it's saying to understand and to accept that the Dao is infinite, it is formless, it is shapeless, it is impossible to control, manipulate. You just have to respond to what you get. That is exactly how you're supposed to live. That is exactly how you are supposed to interact with the world. And when you do that, the order of the affairs of today become a lot more easy to work with, because we all have structure in our lives. Of course, we all have plans and examinations or tests or reviews or careers or expectations on us. So we have structure in our lives. That structure is a little bit relative. Sorry, I have something in my eye. Anyway, that structure is a little bit relative. Well, it's completely relative because, tomorrow that exam doesn't matter. Maybe you had homework a week ago and now that homework's irrelevant and it was so important a week ago. So these things are ever changing. And so to understand that actually life is what you make it, it is how you respond to the Tao, that is essentially the only roadmap you really need. And that's the real beauty of Taoism, is that the only thing that you need to understand about Taoism, you could throw away the whole Tao Te Ching. All you need to understand is that you cannot control the universe or the Tao, and the only thing you can do is control how you react to it in the moment. Okay? So we could just end this whole series right now and just say, we have no control over the universe. The ocean's going to keep on going, the clouds are going to keep on spinning, and life goes on. And that would be it. And as long as you can understand that your reaction to this eternal thing is the important part. That is life. That is the only thing that you have. We only have the present. You do not have tomorrow. That doesn't exist yet. And the past is gone. It's completely not there. We just have this single moment. And essentially understanding that essence of the Tao lets you lead a beautiful life, lead a really enjoyable life where you aren't as stressed or anxious or filled with grief, contempt, jealousy, insert emotion here. You aren't filled with that because it's just life. It's just here in the present. And in the present, you can just appreciate what's going on. You don't have to worry or stress or anxiety or, you know, any of that stuff. You can just say, I'm here for right now, and that's awesome. And, you know, in whatever state I'm in, this is what I got. It is what it is. So that is the essence of the Tao, coming from a very inept, misinformed Canadian. We all are misinformed. We're not all Canadian. Not all of us can be. But I really hope that you enjoyed this one. I think it's a really good chapter. It's a really sort of meat and bones of what Taoism is. It's pretty simple and self-explanatory. It's one of those rare chapters in the Tao Te Ching that just basically tells you everything that you need to know. You could literally just use this single verse to you know, you could use this as your Bible for Taoism. You don't need any other chapter. There's a few chapters in here that are kind of like this, that repeat the same thing in different ways to try and help you see it in a different way. And this is one of them. So I think that's really cool. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please leave your comments, your thoughts, your perspectives, your presence in the comments down below. And as always, guys, I will talk to you tomorrow. Check out that view. Oh, amazing.